Rock and Stone Miners, I'm glad to have you back here again. For our next episode, of course, we're looking at our next secondary that we have for our. I mean, we can do the shard diffractor here. Coil guns left. We already did the bolt shank, and we have the wave cooker. So let's actually look at the shard diffractor today. Um, so go ahead and looking at it, of course, it says heavy weapon. All of the engineer secondaries are heavy weapons, of course. Let's take everything off and we'll talk through them all. So, damage 7, of course, we'll see how it deals that damage. Direct target heating of 25%. So, I wonder if it catches them on fire. It just says heating, not entirely sure about that. Area damage is 7. So, it's interesting to see a weapon like this have area damage just from looking at the video. It kind of looks like it's shooting a beam. Effect radius is 1.3, so it does have a pretty small effect radius, so that is interesting as well. Probably more of a target, single targeting. I wouldn't say this is really to fight hordes in any way. Um, Probably just, I guess we'll see how far as far as the range goes. Total capacity 300, charge capacity is 50, discharge rate is 13, then recharge time is 1.6. And of course, we'll go over these and kind of see how they play because a lot of these might not mean nothing to you at the moment. I did put a skin on this one. It looks like with no skin. I have a couple, but I just put the red one to kind of match my red armor I had. Don't have any of the designs yet. So on the first line of modifications here, I do really like the way that this model for this gun is created. By the way, of course, it does look like something the engineer would make. Very kind of experimental in a way. I like this crystal he's using in the middle. Very interesting design here. I do really like the way this weapon looks. So, in the first line of modifications, we have Impact Splash. Releasing a screw from the stability safety mechanism causes the beam to be more forcefully outward on impact, increasing area damage. So it's going to add 2 to the area damage. Um, I guess not really dealing the extra 2 to your targeted unit there, but just to the things around it in that 1.3 area. Next, we have, it looks like the damage of the unit you're actually hitting, that direct damage. Just adding 2 there. Both of these are just adding 2 to an already 7 damage base. And then we have a larger battery here, R&D custom fitted a larger battery to increase the max capacity. I'll honestly say, normally enough, adding the plus 100 or plus whatever amount of ammo bags usually will give you a higher total output of damage versus actually increasing the damage of the shot itself. So overall, of course, I did choose to go for the larger battery. This is just my first impressions of the gun. Next, we have soft tissue disruption. Hit them where it hurts. Literally, we've upped the damage, so you'll be able to do to any creature, or you'll be able to do to any creature's fleshy bits. You're welcome. So this is going to add 33% damage bonus to any weak points. Of course, already dealing extra damage to weak points, and this is even more. So I feel like that 33% is giving you more than just a 2 on the top there. So that is very interesting. Next, we're going to be having. Well, I don't know. I didn't actually do math on the 33% of 7, but regardless, we don't even get to look at that versus that. So, by introducing a stronger gas flow through the beam, particles damage around the area impact zone. So, it adds 0.8 to the effect radius. That definitely does give a pretty good increase to that radius there. But honestly, I don't feel like this is going to be a weapon to fight hordes. I mean, I haven't tried it yet. I haven't fought a horde with it. But I feel like that additional damage for a single target unit, especially a weak point, of course, like Praetorians, you can always kind of go in the back and shoot them in the weak point to start off with. That 33% damage increase is going to be very nice. Next, we have a higher charge capacity, the aluminum foil DIY. So, Of course, we haven't actually shot this weapon yet. We'd have to see. Of course, it just kind of means you're going to be able to shoot twice as long. I assume this weapon does not have a overheat if it's a charge capacity, I think. And then we have open structure battery, and that's going to be decreasing the recharge time by 50%, which is pretty impressive. Woo. Excuse me. So, like I said, I really feel like this is going to be fighting those big units. So there is an argument between the kind of longer shot versus the faster reload. But I think overall, the magazine capacity really doesn't matter for a lot of these weapons. So that is something you have to take into consideration. How important is you to reload faster versus having a larger magazine? I feel like it's almost a personal choice, but I decided to go for the recharge speed there. Next, on the fourth line, we have high intensity heating, direct target heating, plus 75% to 100%. A tweaked beam oscillator increases the intensity of the thermal shockwaves on direct impact, transferring more heat to the target. So I assume this is going to set them on fire. Something I'd have to play with and really see. I think you could. I don't know if you could do anything with their other weapons to kind of play off of having a unit on fire. Will you do extra damage or have some kind of modifier? But we do have the nitrogen vaporizer here, and this is going to add 400% armor breaking. Like I said, if you're single targeting units at this point, I feel like you're going to really be able to want to break through any armor that they have. If they do have any at all, I mean, most likely you really want to be hitting weak points. But, I mean, guards are going to have armor. Even grunts will have armor. You may have a situation where you have to use this against them. Any unit at range, you'll probably end up having to use this against them, depending on what you use. The smart rifle does have pretty good range. And then for the last set here of modifications, we have hydrogen rupturing. So this is going to add 33% damage to any electrically affected units, which is something you'd have to build around. Of course, I know the engineer does have some electric stuff that they can do with their turrets and things like that. Next, we have the Biomass Converter, an invention with one purpose of making war more energy efficient. Has been added a fancy attachment enabling your weapon to extend the current beam duration with every kill. So I don't necessarily know what it says by beam duration. I assume that it's your charge capacity, but I'm not entirely sure about that. That is something you have to kind of figure out, because like I know that the gunner will have modifications or perks that will, like with it, I think it's modifications that with every kill it reduces some of his overheat. So I mean, yes, it is convenient for him, but your current beam duration with every kill, I mean, how many do you plan on killing at a time with this? I don't know. We don't really know the output that it can do. We don't know how it deals with hordes. That's something you would have to kind of test out and work on there. But as for my first pick here, I picked Dazzler Module here, a special Dazzler lens. It's attached to the weapon, making the beam emit a strong infrared light on impact, slowing down enemies in the area of effect. Slow movement on hit 80%. I felt like if you were hitting big units, if you were hitting anything, of course you'd want them slowed down. Not only that, it will give your allies ways to just give them more time to get where they need. Don't know if it'll slow down bosses. That's something that needs to be tested. But it definitely slow down Praetorians, oppressors, anything. I mean, even if you switch to say you're out on your main, you switch to your secondary, do you want that bug that is very close to you to be slowed down or attack you like normal? So I did go with the Dazzler module there. Very interesting, but like I said, do really like the model, how they made this here. I mean, the other ones, of course, you can't go wrong with the rocket launcher or grenade launcher, but of course, I do like that breach cutter as well. I don't know, that one, it just hits a little different. I do like seeing the crystal there in the middle. I think that's very interesting to see. And I like how it's being used here in a beam. Very cool, very cool. So I never bought this. So let's go ahead and try a little test game to kind of see what we have going on here. I would be able to deal with Mactera pretty easily, I'd hope. Let's just put it on hazard 4. I have noticed the game slowing down a little bit, getting a little laggy, whereas before, with the pre-update part, I've never had any problems at all, running on very high, or ultra, whatever it's called, and like never having any lag problems. But with this update, I've been having to turn things down. I was like, oh, this is interesting. I hope this gets ironed out, but we will definitely see. I mean, if I need to play on lower settings, of course I will. So I've been working on getting that all silver achievement for your dwarves. I have my scout at 25. I just have to do the missions to promote him. Then after that, of course, I'll be working on getting them all to gold. I'll tell you, the playing scout for that one was very boring. I just don't know. I just don't like scout as much. Getting a little lag there. I guess I should jump down. So just trying out this weapon to begin with, we will be shooting this loot bug over here. We see the battery life on our weapon. If you look there, kind of in the middle of the screen at the bottom. I can't really tell what the other one is. Well, no, that must be your current ammo that you have, or current battery. On the left side, so you see the 50 on the left side, then 100% for the total battery, being that you have 400, which is how much you're able to hold on the right side. So that's interesting to be able to see that there on that. Get close to something a little bit darker, see it show up a little bit better. Yeah, cool. KWH. So where is that loot bug at? So let's see what it does. So it did a lot of damage really fast. I do like that. That was a very fast kill on the loot bug. So overall, just by that click there, we lost around 3.2% of our ammunition. But you also see that it like automatically went up to back at 50 as far as the shot time goes. So that is also, or how long your shot capacity, I assume, is able to go. So that is very interesting. Well, it seems like it has a very fast charge, recharge time. Of course, we do have the mod that helps with that, so that is also very useful. But yeah, that is very quick. Going from shot to shot, reloading that fast would be nice, especially if you got into a sticky situation with a lot of troops around you. Oops, I didn't mean to press sprint there. Let's go in the other room, see if there's anything. Just trying to find some enemies to fight, just to test out the new gun. Might be some down here. Wait, oh yeah, there they go. So it does increase heat to the point where they will catch on fire. And I feel like if you have that other module with the heat one instead of the armor breaking, I think that was a different. I could be wrong on that. If that was the difference or not. But I think it automatically catches them on fire, which is also interesting. Might just be able to do like a little shot and just have them burn for a little bit. But I mean, it does deal with units fairly easily. Of course, that was a weak point shot and not necessarily a armored hit there. So of course we will test that on this Praetorian over here. Try this here too. So let's see if we can take this breeder out. I mean, almost took about half health off the breeder there on the 50, so I mean, that's pretty good, because of course breeders do have a fairly high HP pool. This is a lot of Mactera. Of course, we are in the Mactera mission, so it makes sense. Very hard to hit the Mactera while they're zooming around. Very easy to hit the hatchlings though. Okay. Okay. Oh, looks like we got a little drawing wall over there. Huh, very interesting. There he goes. But I mean, at this point, we have used a fair bit of our ammunition, so you have to keep that in mind. You'll probably, if you use this quite regularly, you will fly through that ammunition very quickly. So you will definitely have to keep that in mind. This isn't a weapon you can sit there and use the whole run, but it will come in handy for you. Let's try it. Oh, okay. Is he coming? Oops. He is coming. Oh shit, never mind. I'm just dead. Leech got me. Oops. Well then, I didn't think it was going to go that way. I didn't think I was going to get grabbed by a leech, so I should have put my a perk on for that. I didn't even think of that as being a possibility in this little short showing of the weapon. But that is okay. I still was able to kind of show the weapon, definitely a little bit more of a, well, I wouldn't say long distance item, since you do have the smart rifle and the little submachine gun. Even though it's not very accurate at long distances, you can use it. But yeah, I do think it is a pretty nice weapon. Definitely nice to see a new weapon come out, for sure. Just to have something new. And yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting. I'm definitely going to use it for a lot of games for a while. Just try it out. I really wonder how it's going to do versus like a dreadnought along those lines or something like that. So that does make me wonder. But that's all I have, guys. A very, very short video, just going over that real quick. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.